Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now this is your Manchester United versus Charlton match reaction for the Carabao Cup. So United progress to the semi-finals, as we all know, and what a game that actually was last night. I'll talk about both halves briefly, and I just want to give a massive shout out beforehand to Palestri. And this might be a controversial topic, but for me, I think it's 100% guaranteed that he deserves more game time. That 10-minute cameo he showed last night was more than what Elanga has shown the entire time he's been playing for Manchester United. And that's not Elanga's fault. I feel like Elanga's been over-promoted. I feel like that Elanga wasn't ready last season when Rangnick brought him through. And really, with the state of the club, Elanga probably still would have been in the youth setup right now, because when you think about it, Rangnick didn't have enough squad depth up front in last season, so he had to bring a youth player through in Elanga because he was quick, he was quite physical, and he showed potential. Obviously, Elanga hasn't worked out, and he should be on loan in the Championship right now, like Amad Diallo is. But we've got to look at Palestri now, because I feel like Ten Hag's kind of bit the bullet now, and he's kind of got a taste of his own medicine, that he's not played. He's played Elanga because he's favoured him over Palestri. And for me, I can kind of see why, because Elanga is more physical, he's very quick, but he hardly has any end product. Palestri isn't relatively quick, but that low centre of gravity reminds me of a Bernardo Silva at City, or a David Silva if you want to go further on. He reminds me of a Manchester City player, really. He's very good with his feet, he'll run at you, he seems to show a lot of potential. So really, he does deserve more game time, in my opinion. And I am looking forward to seeing if he deserves more game time. Now, there are reports that apparently some loans offers have coming in with him this morning from last night's cameo, as well as Ten Hag's going to sit down with Palestri and discuss his options, if he's going to use him until the end of the season or if he's going to send him out on loan. Personally, I would like to send him out on loan, even though I love what he did last night, that 10-minute cameo. He does need first-team football. Him and Elanga, I believe, is what they should be out on loan. Palestri, Amad Diallo, Elanga. They all need to go out on loan and get first-team football and just progress and grow as players. Now, would I rather Palestri stay and Elanga go out on loan? Yes, because there's something there with Palestri. He's exciting. He seems to be more dynamic than what Elanga currently is. Now, like I said, that's not Elanga's fault, but looking at players like Dalot, Fred, Rashford this season, these players that have really improved from previous managers, I think Palestri can be that type of player. A player that can actually progress and grow, and a player that we've had for 2 years, which it's almost been. I think it's actually been over 2 years. Yeah, because it was the summer we didn't buy Sancho, we bought Palestri and Amad Diallo in. And we've had him for 2 years now, and that was his debut last night, his professional senior debut. Obviously, he's played in pre-season, but that doesn't really count. So, for me, I would love to see Palestri under Erik Ten Hag's wing. And would I rather him go out and play a game every single game for the rest of the season in the Championship or League One? Absolutely. But it's also a catch-22 or catch-24, whatever the saying is that you also want to have your actual manager's arm around you at the same time so they can guide you into the team. Kind of like how Phil Foden was at City with Pep Guardiola. So there is a player there with Palestri, but I've spoken about him long enough now. I might make a separate video about Palestri. But anyway, let's just talk about the game. The first half, I mean, when I saw the team, it was nothing like the team that I predicted in the preview. I expected Ten Hag to go strong. He didn't. And also, what a debut it was for the young 17. What's his name? I can never remember his name. I can never pronounce it. Is it Mino or something like that? I honestly think that there's a player there as well with him. He's he had a great game for his debut at 17 years old, and hopefully he just improves, and maybe he should go out on loan, who knows. But yeah, the first half I felt like we struggled to score, and if you're Charlton, when you see that team news come out for Manchester United, you might honestly think, oh, we can have a chance here. And that was my fear, because it looked like until the Antony goal, we were hardly scoring. Garnacho had a good game. Antony, if he doesn't score that goal, has an average game again. So, for me, Antony is a one-trick pony. He likes to cut in on his left foot. He likes to beat the defender. He likes to cut in on that left foot and curl it in. Or smash it in, whatever. He's a one-trick pony. He reminds me of Rashford from previous seasons, where he has this one specific skill that he loves to do, which tricks defenders, but soon he's going to get figured out. And I honestly think he's already been figured out. A lot of players, it's very basic what Antony's doing, in my opinion. And I love him. And I think that the price tag that he's got doesn't matter, in my opinion. That's down to the poor staff that we have at Manchester United who overpaid for him. But I want to see Antony improve, because he shows so much potential, in my opinion. And the fact as well is that he's also Erik Ten Hag's player. So, yeah, I just want Antony to improve, to be honest. But apart from that, Fred, a great cameo. I need to speak about Fred in a moment. McTominay, kind of hiding a little bit. He had a bit of an average game. Maguire in the first half, I thought he played really well. I thought Maguire's possession was really good. He was defending really well. He got beaten a couple of times by the Charlton strikers, but he didn't really capitalise, and he did okay to recover. The second half is when Maguire kind of dropped off in form, but apart from that, I felt like he did all right. Malacia, I thought Malacia played really well. Malacia doesn't back out of a tackle whatsoever. I love him to bits. Martinez, the butcher. Oh, I love him to bits. He got kicked in the face, and he has a little cut on his face, and he gets up like it's nothing. If that's in the Premier League, if that's Grealish or Ronaldo or someone like that, they're literally like crying on the floor. What does Martinez do? He just gets up, shrugs his shoulders, and then he's into the next tackle 4 seconds later. That's what you love about Martinez. He's a natural, old-fashioned centre-back, which is what we want and love. And I would love Martinez to be our future captain, or Casemiro. I'll talk about Casemiro in a minute when he came on. Who else played? Dalot, obviously he went off injured early in the first half, which is a bit of a concern. I believe Erik Ten Hag said something like it was a bit of a strain, but we took him off just for a precaution, because we didn't want him to risk our further fatal injury, which is respectful. And Wan-Bissaka has been playing really well at the moment, so you're bringing on a good right back. And finally, Tom Heaton. I felt like Tom Heaton. What I'll talk about United's goalkeepers is also real quick. Is that United's goalkeepers, we've got 3 very good class goalkeepers. We've got De Gea for number 1, who I really rate, who I love De Gea. We've got Jack Butland, who I also really rate, who's also 29. And I think that he's a very good backup goalkeeper. And then you've got Tom Heaton, in case one of them get injured, who's a good number 2. And I rate Tom Heaton as well. So, really, the first 11 wasn't too shabby. It was quite well organised, and you felt like the players could easily win it, but also make it a challenge for themselves. And Garnacho, he played really well. He was creating a few goals. Not a few goals. He created a few chances. I believe it was Garnacho who passed it to Fred, and then Fred passed it to Antony, who then dropped the shoulder and then curled it into the far corner. It was a good goal from Antony, 100%. It reminded me of the City goal when we lost 6-3. Don't want to remember that game at all. But yeah, the first half for me went decently well. It was against Charlton, and if we actually had a natural young striker, because I feel like we would have won that game 5 or 6-0. We were just breezing past him. We just didn't have any end product with Elanga. And that's just my opinion, though. And I just think that this is perfect as well, because you've got the likes of Varane, Shaw, Bruno Fernandes, Martial, who haven't kicked a ball. They've had a week off now. that is amazing. That with the season we've had, with the many fixtures, that's incredible. And they're going to be ready and raring to go for Saturday against Manchester City. Now, speaking of Manchester City, I just want to quickly talk about Fred as well. Do you drop Antony and put Bruno Fernandes on the right-hand side to allow a midfield three of Eriksen, Fred and Casemiro? For me, I think so. Because if you are struggling for a goal or struggling for pace, then that's when you can bring Antony on, who's fit and raring to go. But yeah, I would honestly consider playing Fred on Saturday against City. He's played really well off the bench when he's been playing. He had a great cameo against Spurs a few weeks ago. I think Fred's playing very well at the moment, and I would honestly put him into consideration to be a starter for Saturday against Manchester City. Anyway, with Charlton, the second half, it was a pretty boring half for the first 15-20 minutes until the subs came on. And then as soon as Eriksen, Rashford, Casemiro came on, you just knew that they were levels above the Charlton players. You just knew that they with Casemiro and Rashford especially, their confidence, their sheer desire to be like, yeah, I'm better than you. I'm in the form of my life. I'm going to impact the game. Casemiro's pass to Palestra, who then passed it to Rashford. What a goal that was. And then Casemiro's assist to Rashford as well. They're just brilliant. And you could tell that they're like, Casemiro is world class. And Rashford is top class at the moment and can be world class if he keeps the form that he is. 21 goal contributions in all competitions this season is incredible. And considering you had 7 last season, you've tripled your stats from last season in half the time. That just shows what a good manager Ten Hag is and what good coaching actually does. And I just love what Rashford's doing at the moment. But anyway, apart from that, I thought it was a very good game. I'll give you my player ratings real quick. Tom Eaton, I'll give a 7. Dalot, I'll give a 6. I didn't want him to pitch too long, so then I will change to Wan-Bissaka, who I'd give a 6.5 to. Harry Maguire, I'll give a 6.5 to as well. Actually, no, I'll give him a 7. I'll give him a 7. I will give... No, I'll give Wan-Bissaka a 7 as well. I'll give Maguire a 7. I'll give Martinez an 8. I will give Malacia a 7.5. I will give McTominay a 6.5. I'll give Fred a 7.5. I will give Mino, whatever his name is, I will give him a 7. I felt like he had a good debut. Antony, he got the goal. I'll give him a 7.5. Alanga, I'll give a 6. Just, he needs to go out on loan. And Garnacho, I'd also give a 7.5 to. The subs, I will give, we've already said Wan-Bissaka, so Casemiro, I will give, oh, he's class in it. I'll give him an 8. I love him to bits. Eriksen, I'll give a 7 to. He showed his difference and he came on quite well and raring to go against Charlton. I really loved it. And then Rashford came on, scored the 2 goals. I've got to give him an 8.5. Now, statistically by rating, with my rating schedule, you would go Rashford for man of the match, but I don't think so. I'm going to give this player man of the match because I felt like we've missed him. I felt like that this player is just a short-term winner and I don't know where we'd be without him. And I'm going to give it to Martinez. I felt like that Martinez, he kept the clean sheet. He was bullying the defenders. He got kicked, like I've said, he got kicks in the head, he had a cut on his face and just got straight back up like it was nothing. That's why I love Martinez. He's my butcher and hopefully he's my future captain because I adore Lisandro Martinez. But anyway, thank you for watching today's video. I need to get off to work. So yeah, thank you for watching today's video and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.